we're back for the second part of our show, and we're going to start off with our segment of 20 questions. And Ed, I'm about to do our inaugural, or customary inaugural, our coin flip, and call it in the air.
Heads.
Tails. So I start off, and I'll choose to defer.
Okay.
And you're going to go on with question number 1.
Okay, here we go. Oh, come on.
Technical difficulties.
Boy, this is starting off on the wrong foot here, huh?
And here we go.
Here we go. Alright. What is the biggest sports disappointment in your opinion? And I'll give you an example. Like the 1994 Supersonics, the Colombian team in the 1994 World Cup. Biggest disappointments. High
For myself
expectations.
personally, with one of my teams?
Any that you've seen.
Or all time?
Any that you've seen.
So it doesn't have to be my team?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be your team.
Yeah, Supersonics was a colossal failure because I thought they were going to be champions that year.
Yeah, we all did.
Oh man, the Lakers were a big disappointment this past year. I'd have to say, well, I mean, you hit it right on the money. Seattle in '94, I remember they had the best record in the league. They were smoking, running through everybody, lighting up suckers, knocking out fools, busting up chumps,
Yeah.
And when it came down to a team that, as I remember, their head coach, Dan Issel, would say, they were a loosey-goosey bunch.
Mm-hmm.
When they came to a team that probably was just happy to be there and played pressure-free basketball, they got lit up and socked up, and I think they weren't used to they were used to throwing punches, and the minute somebody threw a punch back at them, they didn't know how to react, and thus explaining their meltdown and inevitable defeat, and being the first ever 8 seed to lose to a number 1. So I think it has to be that.
So Supersonics in the regular season, Roaring Lion in the opening round of the playoffs.
Whimpered away.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Okay, my turn. Recently, in an interview, Mike Ditka said he regretted not challenging a then unknown Senator hopeful Barack Obama for the Senate in 2004, stating, had he challenged him, he would not only have defeated him, but we would never have heard of him. Thoughts?
Guy's a nut. That guy's a nut. It is also the same genius who said, gee, we just drafted Ricky Williams. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Good one, Professor. Where did that get you?
He brought that up because I guess he's been
a right-wing
displeased with the president. And at that time, the Republican Party was pushing him to run for the Senate since he's popular because he was the Bears coach, a former Bear himself, has a following there, a Republican, and he was looking forward to running at that time, and at the end he pulled out, and thus the president, I don't know who challenged him at that time, and the Alan Keyes dude that ran for president in 2000, but it was initially going to be Mike Ditka, and he said that he would have blown him away, that because he was unknown and he's Mike Ditka.
You know what? You just can't go on things like that alone. I think when it came down, if it would have come down to a debate, president would have made easy work of this chump,
So, yeah.
Yeah,
that was easy.
Yeah, that would have been our president right there, and the guy's a chump, loser. We all know that Buddy Ryan was behind all the success of the Bears.
Ooh.
We all know that. Mike Ditka was just a face,
So you're giving the credit to the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man.
Oh, come on. This is just going... Oh! Okay, alright. Never mind. Alright. Here we go. Best movie soundtrack.
Wow, good one. I like Rocky 3. I like Rocky 4. In the Closet one is probably The Lion King.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
But I'll go with Rocky 4. It has Eye of the Tiger, Hearts on Fire, that war one, that one Cafferty dude with the one that every time I step out of a plane I think about. It's that Rocky thing, I don't know. So I will say Rocky 4. I know other people will probably say other stuff like Titanic or something like that. But I'm a man's man, I'm a guy's guy, and I will say Rocky 4. How about you?
Blade Trinity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No comment there. That was good too.
It has the score and it has the opening themes.
I think it even have a video, huh?
Yeah, they have a video, yeah.
Wow, okay.
So,
Well, yeah, that's a good choice too. Okay. Now speaking of going in the same theme I'm going with, guys who run their mouth. Aside from Mike Ditka, here's another guy. Freddie Roach said after the fight, last week's fight, that had he trained Miguel Cotto last year, he would have defeated Floyd Mayweather under his tutelage. Thoughts?
I don't know about that. I think that's just... You know how we have that Manny being Manny?
Yeah.
I really believe in Freddie being Freddie, about Freddie being a loudmouth and this and that, and I think he's tuning his own horn there. I hate to burst your bubble, Freddie, but that's not the same Miguel Cotto of 6 years ago. He's been hurt. I don't see it. No, that's not the same Miguel Cotto, and I could honestly tell you, no. Floyd would have made easy work of them. He's done. He's been done.
Yeah.
He would have been easy work for this guy. No way.
The Margarito and Pacquiao fights took everything out of him, didn't it?
Yeah. I can tell that guy takes a lot out of his opponents. That's a theory I have.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Oh, my turn. Yikes. Best movie trilogy, since we just saw Blade right now.
Wow. Love Blade. No lie about that. I love Blade. Trilogy. Does it have to be a trilogy or a saga?
It could be a trilogy, saga.
Well, I mean, we'll stick to trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Love Blade. Austin Powers is funny. I'll say Blade because we just finished seeing it, and I got the Blade sword and those Blade,
stars.
Those stars or those things that he throws. Something enamors me about a vampire that's a daywalker, and hopefully they come across and make the fourth one, and get Morbius to go against him. I think that would be a cool storyline. I know you were disappointed when they canceled the show.
Yeah.
Because you were a big fan of the show, right?
Yeah, it was.
And
that's still something I need to do is buy the seasons.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I gotta catch up. I think I only saw the first episode and I gave up on it. But
I left off on the second to last and didn't see the last.
Wow.
So.
Wow. So yeah, you gotta watch that.
Let's make it a check mark during the holidays, Thanksgiving before we eat.
Yeah.
Check mark it.
Yeah. Okay. Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, and Joe Calzaghe are all in the ballot and are perceived to be shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame in 2014. Which had the better career?
De La Hoya.
Wow.
By far.
Wow. Even though Felix beat him.
Yeah, even though Felix beat him, I didn't think it hindered it. He had a lot of wins, held titles, held them for a while too. Started from the bottom, went all the way up, had a storybook career with the gold medal and dedicating it to the memory of his mother, and the storybook career. You ask me, Trinidad comes in a very close second, and the other bum doesn't even deserve it.
I knew you were going to go that route. What do you think that he's already mentioned that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame already?
Doesn't deserve it. I think.
And we're talking about. I'm talking about Calzaghe. My brother here has a disdain for Calzaghe. He has for Mayweather.
Yeah.
And
But I give Floyd his props on being a great athlete. Calzaghe, in my eyes, was never a great athlete. It's easy to say you're good when you fight bums in your backyard, you know?
he'll say, "Oh, I beat Bernard Hopkins and I beat Roy Jones."
He beat an old Bernard Hopkins and a, barely there Roy Jones.
Okay, playing devil's advocate, he could say, "Well, look at this. Bernard's still fighting. He's a champion."
It's not the same Bernard, though. Bernard against a younger man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? If he had fought the Bernard that beat Trinidad, we would have seen something different.
No, yeah, it would have been horrible.
You know?
Roy too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Roy pre the heavyweight fight with what's that bum's name?
Ruiz.
That Roy.
Yeah, that Roy. At this point, he's Roy Munson, you know?
Yeah, but that Roy would have made a fool out of this character, right?
Yeah.
So I guess De La Hoya to you.
Yeah, De La Hoya is the best one. Come on. Sorry for the delay on that. The iPod is just getting slower and slower. It's like watching Juan Marquez, you know? Okay. This goes then in anything. Who really is the greatest?
Well, wow. But what are we talking about?
Anything. Could be anything.
Boxing, basketball, soccer?
Anything you want.
Soccer, without a doubt, everybody will say Pele.
Yeah.
So, okay, I won't. That's not just. Same thing with boxing. Although boxing is different in the sense that it's by country. Like the greatest here in this country is Ali, hands down.
Yeah.
In Mexico, it's Julio Cesar Chavez, senior, not junior.
Okay.
In Puerto Rico, it's gonna probably be said Felix Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
Although some people might say Cotto, but I think everybody for most part will say Felix because they embrace him a lot more than Cotto. We're in Panama. It's gonna be Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
Where else?
Yeah.
I mean, think of for the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao, hands down.
Not Bobby.
Unfortunately for Nonito, that loss to that recent loss he had to that Cuban fighter would not help his cause on him becoming the greatest Filipino. Yeah. But I think he's very underrated, and I love the Nonito though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do they consider British or English or Welsh or whatever?
No, I think you're considered by the specific place you're at.
Okay, so I guess the greatest Welsh fighter is going to probably be the guy that you hate.
Yeah. That doesn't say much. You know?
So that's where we go as the greatest. In basketball, which is my expertise, everybody will say, well, before I get to that one, hockey, no doubt, kind of like in soccer, it's Pele.
Gretzky.
And it's Gretzky.
Yeah.
That's not disputed.
Mm-hmm.
Although in Boston they'll probably say it's Bobby Hall or something like
Bobby Orr.
that. Oh,
yeah.
Bobby Orr. So